Morning, gentlemen.
Morning. Morning, sir.
Good to see you all. Xavier Becerra. Been hearing a lot, of course, people in Alabama and all across the country. Everybody's ready to get back to their normal life. I know you are too. Specifically, our teachers. I'm hearing from a lot of teachers. We've been in full class most of the last year and a half in Alabama. But teachers are concerned. They're concerned that they know they're going to get exposed. There's no way around it. But they want to know that they've got an effective means once they get sick. Example, I had a teacher write me a letter about she got sick and she goes to the hospital, real sick, but they turned her back because there's no monoclonal antibodies. Alabama hospitals have had a pretty good supply over the last couple of, I'd said 4 or 5 months of the antibodies. Secretary Becerra, why did the HHS take over the supply chain of monoclonal antibodies just in the last few months? Can you give us a good reason?
Senator, thank you for the question, and I'm glad you asked because this is something on the minds of a lot of folks. We have seen a tremendous increase in the demand for these monoclonal antibodies. Let me give you an example. In your state of Alabama, in July, your state ordered, all those providers ordered a total of 6,800 doses. In August, your state ordered over 45,000 doses. In less than 2 months, it went up that quickly. And your state wasn't the only one. The difficulty is that with that immediate surge, trying to meet that demand became complicated. So what we've done is we have surged with that to make sure that we're manufacturing more. We're working with industry to make sure that they continue to manufacture more. But what we thought was important is to make sure that every state, Alabama, as any other state, had access to those monoclonal antibodies. So what we did is rather than let those therapies be secured on site by anybody on site, we decided to let the states decide how to best coordinate that. So that state would make sure, Alabama would make sure that every Alabaman would have access to those monoclonal antibodies, not just at one place in one part of Alabama. And so the formula for that distribution is public, your staff, and you have that. And so we would ask you to take a look, because what we're trying to do is have transparency guide how we make sure those therapies and those treatments are available to all.
Yeah, it's my understanding in the second quarter of this past year that we had a huge contract with 2 companies with monoclonal antibodies. And when they're ready to deliver, we said we don't need them. This was in April. And I just want to know who in the world would turn those down in this time of need. It doesn't make sense. Now, they came back and gave us a lot of them because we went back to them, the companies, and they said, well, luckily we've held some of them, but then we had to crank it back up. Who would make that decision?
Well, so remember, the request for the use of the monoclonal antibodies was coming from the places at home in your state. And we were making sure that we were providing the distribution to make it possible to do that. And so we were meeting the needs until these last few months when the Delta variant really surged, and all of a sudden a lot of people were getting sick, especially in certain states. By the way, 7 states are right now essentially taking in about 70% of all those monoclonal antibodies. Of the 50 states, 7 states. And so you can see the surge has occurred quickly. And what we're trying to do is make sure that the manufacturers are producing the supply that's needed. We're trying to make sure that the distribution is done fairly, equitably, and it's done transparently. And that there's accountability as well, because we don't want to find that an Alabaman goes without that monoclonal antibody because somebody else got it and shouldn't have.
Yeah, and you know, we're so fired up about the vaccine, and I am too. I've taken it, and it's not going to keep you from getting it most of the time. It's going to keep you from getting real sick. And I think everybody can agree with that. But we need to focus more on therapeutics. I don't think there's any doubt about, and testing. I've talked to a lot of doctors, especially in the school systems. We need to be testing almost every day or every few days. Kids before they come, now they can have the virus, and if we wait till they get symptoms, they've had it for 2 days and they've already been in school and it's been exposed. I just hope, you know, I heard you say about equity, and I continue to hear everybody talk about equity, and I believe in that. But we need to save people's lives. We can't shut down Alabama or some of these other states simply for the fact that we might not be taking as many vaccines. We cannot let people die, and especially teachers. you know, we're telling them to go back to school, and they want to go teach, but we can't do that. So I'd hope that we would not get political with this. Red states, blue states, it shouldn't even be about that. It should be about everybody. If they need it, they get it. And we just need to be more prepared. So,
Absolutely agree.
Secretary Canona, I got some questions for you, and I'm going to put it on record, Madam Chair. But thank you. Very good answers. Thank you, and look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Senator Lujan.